Thank you for clicking and welcome to our top 10 retro games of the week. Now I'm going to jump straight in and begin with all the items that didn't make it to the top 10 this week. Just in case you're new to the show, all these items are for sale and the prices will pop up as we go along. This is my pick of over 300 items we listed this week, like these amazing Saturn demo discs. As usual, we've started in the bargain basement, and this is a rare game for the Philips CDI, Lucky Luke. But sadly, some nasty marks on the disc. What a shame. No, it's not me struggling with the bank machine again. It's a game called Enemy Zero by Warp for the Sega Saturn. Watch out! Oh, that's a mouthful, isn't it? That's making me want to gag. Now, we've all watched enough TV to know this. What do you do when you encounter a crime scene like this? You don't walk in the blood pile! What's she going to do now? What? No, don't. Oh my god, she's picked up the blimmin'. She's picking up the fingers. What's she going to do? Make a key ring?
Don't you know it was rude looking into someone else's things without permission?
It usually sells for around £150, but you can have just the discs for £30. How about Tomb Raider 2 on the original PlayStation? Lara, you're a bit blocky. Blood Wake for the OG Xbox. I actually bought this when it first came out. Full price retail. It's a strange over-the-water shooter. Nothing else quite like it at the time. I'm not sure it stood up to the test of time. It's alright, a bit glitchy. It was a bit glitchy there, but it's different. Bobbing about and shooting, nice fun. Now, a lot of PC stuff hit the bargain basement this week, like this collector's version of Doom. Comedy action with Guy Threepwood in Escape from Monkey Island. Just missing the big box, that's all. Yes, another PC Terminator game from Bethesda.
Conduct a standard search of the facility, then return.
No, that's not Sarah Connor.
HQ, hold tight. I think I found something.
So how would you react if you suddenly found a nuclear warhead?
Oh my god, it's a nuke. I'm getting the hell out of here.
Maybe slightly more anxious? It's a typical first-person shooter. You're John Connor, in the future, taking down the robots. PC bundles thrown into the basement this week, like these Star Wars games. All three Alone in the Dark adventure games. Nice set of expansion packs for Half-Life. Phantasmagoria. If you're anything like me, you've always wondered about this game. Well, it is an adventure. And it uses that kind of uncanny graphic style of overlaying FMV full motion video over the top of a graphic background, a bit like that classic TV show Nightmare. It looks odd, doesn't it? It does look odd when you have a real actress interacting with static backdrops. She is brilliant at delivering the lines though, great casting.
Prognostications of evil? The devil made me do it?
Now, do you remember that Zoltar machine in the film Big? Of course you do, you're watching this. Well, this version really pushes the envelope. While there is plenty of tension, there isn't actually much horror in this game. But there is a bit of a spoiler alert. This is a nasty ending. She gets tortured. She gets strapped into a chair. This maniac guy. She's trying to fight her way free. Oh dear. Would you like to try again? What a vicious ending, and what a subdued restart screen. Amazing. Time for some Atari.
Atari in the house!
Questron 2, a rare RPG from SSI. Please don't worry, Jace and the top 10 are on their way. How about this Chaos Engine? It's got the rare card set, beautiful. Now let's move on to some beautiful Sierra adventure games, Conquests of Camelot. Now it looks like a relatively simple point and click adventure, but it does have arcade elements. You do have to do a bit of typing though. All these Sierra games are very similar. Here we go, a bit of jousting. Come on, take him down. Oh, yes! Take that, Black Knight. Fair enough, it is not Street Fighter 2, but it is a fighting action game within an adventure. And it's got some pretty impressive death move. Let's just watch that again. Oh, Mortal Kombat's got nothing on this. Like all these Sierra games, beautiful box and artwork, fantastic inserts in this fold-out map. We also had the full King's Quest set 1, 2, 3 and 4 this week. And how about this? Now, here's some action. This is Sierra's take on the gritty cop drama. Now, you've played GTA. Think about how you get in the car in GTA and think about how you did it back on the Atari ST. Okay, we've got to shut the boot first. You can't get in the car with the boot open. Trunk, it's American. Close the trunk. Okay, now let's go to the car door. Okay, into the car door. Use the keys. We've got to unlock the door. Unlock the door. It's unlocked. Brilliant. Yeah. Yeah. One step at a time, boys. Open the door. Okay. And then as soon as you go to open the door, something happens. It triggers this guy. He's your partner. But don't worry. We're going to get in the car now. And yes, of course, our sidekick's smoking a fag. We've got to drive to the jail. Check out the bad guys. Come on, let's get driving. What do you think this is going to look like? What do you think? I mean, I'm thrilled. It's gone first person. I can't wait. Yeah, I mean, it's building up the tension with the amount of text you have to read before you can actually drive like this. On the road again. This is where we have come from. This is where all the driving games you've ever known started. Absolutely fabulous. I love it. And of course it comes in that wonderful box. Beautiful artwork on this one. Yeah, fantastic. And the back of it. Wow, beautiful. And it comes with a homicide officer's guide. You can't beat that. Loads of great Commodore 64 games this week, like Gremlins from Adventure International. Hero Quest, yes, they rebooted the board game. Must be more interested in this. Now, what is this? I'm in the forest. I am shooting animals. I am Bill Oddie's worst nightmare. Do not give me a job on Autumn Watch. I am killing birds. Oh, I wonder what the next level's like. Oh, underwater. There's a fish. I'm going to kill the fish. Hang on. There's a bird under the water. There's a bird and a fish. There's a bird and an octopus. Yes, it is Vortex Raider. A crazy game from Interceptor Micros. Now, Outrun Europa, the game that never was in the arcades. Yes, they made another Outrun game for Commodore and Spectrum in the UK. But what does it play like? It doesn't sound like Outrun. And we're driving a motorbike. What? Yes, we might be in Europe. I saw Tower Bridge there for a brief second. But come on. Oh, Outrun had a Ferrari. Hang On has a motorbike. Come on. And there's no police. There's no police in Outrun. There is car levels later on like this, but they're not great, are they? They're not great. It's just like they had a racing game and they decided to borrow Sega's license for it. What do you reckon? Whirly Nerd, one of the greatest inlays ever. What's the game like? Let's just remind ourselves about the cover again. Yeah. Moving on to Nintendo, and we've got a Super Mario All-Stars box set, includes the console, all the cables, digital AV cable controller, just a little bit of discoloration to the front of the console. A Tetris lamp. We really wanted to take this out of the box and play with it, but we haven't. Paper Mario on the GameCube, one of those games that just keeps going up in value. This one's quite reasonable. Hydro Thunder for the Nintendo 64. Not the game you really want it to be. It's a bit lumpy, a bit slow. Unlike Super Probotector on the SNES, classic run and gun. This is the Dutch-French version. It's actually rarer than the UK PAL, but it's got a black and white manual in English. But anyway, look at the game. It's so gorgeous. It's got loads of different stage variations. You're driving your jet ski. It's not a jet ski, is it? Jet bike. Loads of big boss levels. Everyone knows. This is one of the best games on the Super Nintendo console. Now, I assumed that Cybernator would be similar, both by Konami, both shooting games, but it's not got quite the pace. Wow, Sunset Riders, and you're getting excited because that is a super valuable game. But this is a cheapo repro. It's a reproduction version, but it works fine, all regions as well. Pitfall: The Mayan Adventure. Now, what a classic franchise this is. And I think really to do it justice, we have to go right back and look at David Crane's original on the Atari VCS. Yes, grab that rope and swing, boy. Yeah, it's such a brilliant game. It was mind-blowing. And here's the modern take. Punch a monkey in the head and kill it. That is not the Pitfall spirit, I don't think. Grab this idol down the slope. Oh, I'm on the Scorpion's side. And we had loads of 3DO games in this week, like the classic Wing Commander 3. What about this? Alone in the Dark. Great animation in a haunted house. Gex, you star as a lizard in this animated platform game, created by the same team that did the first Tomb Raider. Loads of fighting games for 3DO this week, like Super Street Fighter 2 X, only available on 3DO. Samurai Showdown, another brilliant fighting game on 3DO. Typical SNK Neo Geo style fighting action with swords. Or the more comical Way of the Warrior. You might remember last week we had a good laugh about Kasumi Ninja, and this is a very similar game. Cheesy, digitised graphics, so many missing frames, it makes it look comical. Even when they're incredibly violent death moves like that.
Dragon win.
Splatterhouse back in on PC Engine this week, along with Denjin, PC Kid and the Punkix Cyborgs. Brilliant game. How about this on CDI? Look at this guy's face, Lingo. What a git. I just don't like him. It's just a silly word game, really. Dragon Mason, Debug, Tracer, Monitor, Disassembler. This is a bit technical for me. Games for Acetronic this week. We don't see much Acetronic stuff. This is the classic Circus. Very similar to Atari Circus. What about this? Shootout. Now, you know what sort of game this is going to be. Yes, it's a Boot Hill style. Yes, it doesn't look so good when you demo it with one player, but I'm always going to win. Amstrad GX4000 cartridge, Robocop 2. And it looks pretty good, it's got pretty jazzy music, but it's lacking in action. It really is. It's more of a puzzle platformer, trying to find your way around the conveyor belts, picking things up, avoiding the traps. Not much shooting, and when you do shoot, you got it, no sound effects. One of my pet hates. Donald Duck PK. Now the reason I picked this is because it includes a free comic. Oh yeah, Donald Duck comic. Let's finish with some Mega CD and the classic Jaguar XJ220 and the brilliant Prince of Persia, one of the early versions. This game has gone on and on. Now you've been very patient. I guess it's time to release him from his cage. Are you ready for the top 10? We're nearly there. Here he comes. Oh, sorry about this.
What's new in retro games? Can you tell me what's new in retro games, please? What's new in retro games? Can you tell me what's new in retro games this week?
Hello, yes, it is me. It is Jace at Retrogames. Hello, how are you? Happy Retro Games Day. Confused? I kind of switched up the show. Yeah, got all that stuff out of the way. That's that good stuff. That's all out of the way. Why did you do it, Jace? What are you doing to your own show? Well, I'm still on my quest to get at least 1,000 views a week. And I've been watching lots of YouTube help videos. I'm always addicted to these. You watch these videos, how to get your channel more traffic. And they say, get the good stuff at the beginning. And well, I thought that montage, you know, the stuff that doesn't make it to the top 10 is probably the best bit. It certainly takes the longest to edit. So I thought, well, let's front load the show. If you're brave enough, you'll carry on with us and we'll get to the top 10. Yes, the top 10 items that came to Retro Games this week. Shall we just jump in? Should we just jump in straight away? Go on then.
What's number 10?
Yes, I'm starting with hardware, and what is this? You gotcha! It is the pride of Wales. It is a Dragon 32, not to be mixed up with the 64. A Dragon 32 is a home computer, particularly low sales. Sadly, I mean, it had a following, but it never became a major force in the home computing world. Sadly, big rivals. I mean, never really a significant rival to the Commodore 64 or the Spectrum, but you know, it did better. Excuse me, I'm still here. I'm just gonna pull this up. Oh God! Bash the camera. Oh, I bashed the top camera. I'm not very good at this, aren't you? You think I've been doing it a while, I'd be better than that, but no, I actually hit the camera with the box. I've ruined the show. I've ruined it already. No, seriously. I think it's upside down. Is it upside down? No, not upside down. Anyway, yeah, Dragon 32, what a great computer. You know, more successful than Auric. Maybe not as successful as the Electron. More successful in the UK than MSX, I'd say. Not as more successful than Colour Genie or Sinclair QL. Maybe not as successful as ZX81. I hope you're writing all this down. Come on then, let's have a look. Let's get the lid off, Jace. Da-da! There it is. I mean, it's got a slight yellowness, but then most Dragon 32s do. They just do. I'm going to get it out and hold it up because it always looks better this way. Dragon! It's got a smell. It really does. A prehistoric plastic 80s smell. Which, I mean, we have never, all these shows, and we have never talked about the actual aroma of the hardware itself. And, you know, a Commodore 64 Spectrum, there is a certain smell, but it's not very strong. But in a Dragon, in a BBC, in an Electron, yeah, they've got certain whiffs. You've got to go around the ports of the back and give them a good sniff. It's a lovely smell. It's a lovely 80s plastic smell. Beautiful condition. Let's get it on the camera properly. Lovely, beautiful keyboard. A lovely, nice sticker, undamaged. It's fantastic, actually. It's a fantastic example. It's got all its 4 rubber feet. That's important. You've got ports in the side of the Dragon, which is interesting, isn't it? And they have round joystick ports, like DIN sockets. Easy to get mixed up. BBC's the same. And then what else has it got? It's got the reset switch. It has a reset switch. And it's got a big expansion cartridge port on the side because there is cartridges. I think we covered one last week. Cartridges for the Dragon. Now, what else is interesting about the Dragon? Well, it comes with a manual. It comes with the all-important cassette cable. That is also a DIN socket. A little bit more complicated to sort out. But also the power supply on the Dragon 32 is strange. Because the joystick uses round DIN sockets, but the power supply uses a joystick socket. Now don't go plugging that into the wrong port. People hate that, don't they? They hate squeaky polystyrene. It's a Dragon 32. Let's get on with it, Jace. Number 9.
What's number 9?
And number 9 is a game for the Atari ST by one of my all-time favourite video game companies. It is Sundog Frozen Legacy by FTL. Yes, the creators of Oids and Dungeon Master, games which we have covered on the show many times. This is like a strategic adventure, travelling through space but managing resources. A very good game, very different to their other games, but in immaculate condition. I think this came out before Dungeon Master. I think it's early. Yeah, this is published in the UK by Mirrorsoft. We've got the big manual there, and we've got the disc. And this is a very rare game. Copies of this have sold for like £150, £200. But now for some bad news, and that is mods. Okay, mods. And now I know mods means something else to you lot, but mods to me means marks on disc. And this is the scourge of 16-bit gaming. We are at a point where disc rot has got so prevalent now that maybe 25% of all games that we get in have got issues. Is that fair to say? Maybe you guys, you 16-bit collectors, Amiga, Atari ST, early PC, are experiencing exactly the same. And that is rot. Now this game is in immaculate condition. It has been well stored, it's been well looked after, so there's no reason for this to happen. But I'm going to really try and focus on the look at the little brown strip, and I'm going to do a little scroll round. It looks just on the camera, it looks brown on the little screen, but I'm hoping that you guys can actually see. There is white stains, and look, there's a particular big one right in the middle there, but I don't know if you... Yeah. I think there's some on the back as well. Let me just have a look. Again, yeah. It's just sad. Not only do those marks render the game not working, but they can also get some gunk on your drive head, which means the next games you try also don't work. Trust me, this is all learned from experience. But yeah, it's sad when a game is this immaculate and this rare, but it won't load. Come on, number 8.
What's number 8?
Now, as you may have noticed, we had a lot of 3DO games onto the site this week, and there was lots of rare ones, lots of interesting ones, as you've seen. And I wanted to pick one for the top 10, and I picked a really boring one, a pack-in one, and that is Starblade. Now, why have I picked Starblade? It was a close call. We did have Captain Quasar, but I think it's sold really quick. I would have picked that probably, but Starblade to me, it just takes me back, because the coin-op of Starblade, when I first saw that, it takes me right back. It's the last flourishes of the coin-op scene. Going to a video game arcade and seeing Starblade for the first time and thinking, oh my god, they can do that now. Graphics have come that far. Let's just remind ourselves.
Located enemy flagship, Commander. This is Team Leader. Take a light one, Justin, and I'll take the left one.
And this version on the 3DO is such a great conversion. It really does. It's a close approximation of the arcade machine. The graphics are maybe a little bit slower, not quite the finesse, quite the resolution, but it definitely looks like Starblade. You can't mix this up. It's a brilliant game. I mean, let's be honest, Starblade isn't the best shooter in the world. It is on rails, but it just looked fantastic. It blew us away with the graphics back in the day. I'll just show you on the top screen. There it is. This is the not for sale version, which means it was packed in with the machine. Yeah, it's a machine. It was a system seller. This was a brilliant Namco coin-op, so why not? Why not? And anyway, it evokes a lot of memory in me. It was my first game on the 3DO, and I just thought, wow, that's going in the chart. What's next?
What's number 7?
Number 7, and we're in heaven. As you've seen, lots of Atari ST classics hit the site this week. And this one, Windwalker, not just because of the great guy on the front. I just thought, what a beautiful package. This just takes you back to an era when they really put the miles in, and they really did. 1989 this is, on the Atari ST. What a beautiful game. I mean, the game itself, it's a mixture of fighting and role-playing. It's actually the sequel to Moebius, if ever you played that. It's not Wind Waker, Windwalker. Yeah, it's a bit different to Zelda. But anyway, where was I? I was taking the box lid off, and there we have it. And here we are. This has got some great stuff in it. And you'll know why I picked it in a minute. So you've got the discs, beautiful discs. And then you've got some inserts. And then we've got this, the I Ching Book of Changes. It's a little book of, you know, things. Rain and thunder indicate profound activity. Yeah. I think it's related to the game still, but look, it's a very cute little book. Insert crazy on this. What? Don't toss this card. It's just the warranty, but I quite like this one. It's quite nicely done. The Mystic Runes of Windwalker. Now, by Greg Malone, he is the creator of the game, and I think it's a very mystical way of delivering instructions through a game. Yes, a very heavy instruction. I mean, games were heavy on instructions in the 80s, weren't they? They were. Then we've got the the Wind Waker ST guide, quick reference guide. I think it's set up, and this is like proper instructions. If you got enough instructions, and there we have it. That's what I picked it for. You know, I picked it for this. I picked it for the Origin brochure, 1990 product catalogue. And look at that, beautiful. And we've got some great games there. Space Rogue is back. Remember we talked about that a few episodes ago. Omega by Origin. There's a video. Knights, I don't know that game very well. Knights of Legend. Did that come out on the Atari ST? I don't think it did. I don't think it did. I don't think I've ever seen it if it did. Maybe in the US of A. Tangled Tales, look at that. That looks amazing. It's got an order form. You can order directly from Origin. Beautiful. Look at that couple there. Just about to go out for a picnic. Fabulous. Yeah, what a lovely game. Windwalker. And I didn't go on about the guy on the front. I was a big fan of the show Monkey. And he looks a little bit like Fish Face, doesn't he? A little bit like Fish Face. What's number 6? Number 6, and it is for the Super Nintendo. Well, what's new is always a Super Nintendo game, but it's something different. It is Mario Kart R. That's right, a sequel game to Mario Kart. It's got 20 new tracks, it's got new environments, you can play as Kirby. Let's check it out. Here we are as Kirby then, or as a piece of marshmallow. There's not much graphics to the back of Kirby's head, is there? I mean, if you're going to homebrew and modify an original game, put in a character, I'd say Kirby. Brilliant choice. It looks authentic because there's not much to do. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, these homebrew things. Now, what I really like here, so you've got the Mario Kart logo they've put on there. And then because Kirby's in it now, they've just inserted him. Look, there he is. He's just there. Oh, that's all right. He looks like he's there now. He's meant to be there. And they put him again at the bottom. But yeah, I like this bit of text. The second instalment in the biggest race of all time. Wow, that is big talk. And there's the back. It just says about the tracks. Obviously, brand new condition because it's probably not particularly old. But is anybody keeping a register or a log of all these, you know, remixes and homebrews and special versions? And there's the cartridge. Mario Kart R. Now we've never had this in stock before. It's an oddity, and it definitely needs to go in the top 10. But what's next? What's number 5? Now number 5 is something more familiar. This is a Sony PlayStation Vita, and you're thinking, come off it, Jace. That is not exciting. That is just a standard Sony console. But this one has been jailbroken. It has got some lovely, lovely content on there, and I thought I'd give you a little show. First, there is the box, a beautiful example, lovely in the box. And we all know the PS Vita is very underrated, the most underrated handheld console there is. It really was the power of PlayStation, as it says on there. There's the console, and I can lift that up. We've got the power supply, and then if you lift up, there's all the manuals and Gumph, loads of manuals and Gumph, and all the stuff is all in there. It's as new. The actual game itself has a screen protector on, so it has never hasn't seen daylight, so it's brand new under there. Beautiful condition. Now I'm going to show you some of the features of this particular PS Vita. Here we go then. Here we go. So let's have a little look. So we've got something called Rubbish and More Rubbish and Vita Pack. Package, I'm not sure what that is. We've got Adrenaline, I'm not sure what that is. Retro Arch. Now this is an emulator thing, full of emulators and crazy. Actraiser, Metal Slug, there's all different formats, loads of stuff, 1995 collection. I mean literally hundreds and hundreds of emulated games all ready to play. But it's also got a 4GB card, and it's absolutely packed with amazing games. God of War collection there, Jet Set Radio, Batman Ninja Gaiden Plus, then we can go to Shmups. Look at that, Low Sign Mora, Big Sky Infinity, amazing. Sports games, Virtua Tennis, Windjammers, brilliant Windjammers. Rayman on the platformers, Super Monkey Ball, I mean Metal Slug there, Joe Danger, Rayman 2. Stop it playing it, Jace. Back. And then another one of platformers. Oh, I'm so professional. Yeah, loads more there. Splunky, Bastion, SteamWorld, brilliant. Let's move down. Strategy and puzzle. Helldivers, all the rage at the moment. Borderlands 2. So many games, brilliant racing games. You've got Wipeout, of course, Need for Speed, Ridge Racer. Yeah, Gran Turismo. Loads more games down here. Little Wings. That VVVVV game, SteamWorld Dig. Loads more. I'm still going. Assassin's Creed. Alien Breed. Wow, I want to play that. But you know, we actually totaled it up. There is 74 full price games on this machine. 74 full price video games. Virtually half all the games that ever came out for it, and they're all there, all installed and ready to play. Pretty amazing. And number 4 is for the Commodore, of course it is! Wizard of War, and it's not boxed, it's just a loose cartridge, but one of the seminal games that I grew up with. I mean, cartridges, when we were back in the Spectrum and Commodore days, we were loading on tape all the time. When you got to the Commodore 64 and you suddenly got a game on cartridge, that's why international soccer is such a massive game. International football is usually called. Such a massive game on the 64, because that joy of just plugging something, your mates come round, plug something straight in, you're straight on the joysticks. I mean, you take this stuff for granted now, but back then, you know, compared to having to load a tape, all right, in 10 minutes we'll be able to play something. The instant you'd play this before you played what you actually wanted to play. So you'd get your Wizard of War on, or you get your international football on, and you'd have a kick about and a little bit of fun. And before you know it, you played this game so long you didn't play what you wanted to play in the first place. Anyway, stop rabbiting, Jace. You're on one. Let's show you Wizard of War.
Originally a 1981 coin-op by Midway, Wizard of War was pretty groundbreaking when it was released. It's a maze game for 2 players, and that is the key. You are in competition to take down these monsters. I can't tell you the amount of hours I spent playing this game with friends, trying to beat each other, trying to get to all the bad guys before the other one and taking the points. And then when you clear them, here comes the big buzzy fly weird thing. And it got me straight away. Oh well.
Yeah, it's a classic coin-op arcade game. It came out for loads of formats. It looks so much better in the box, but just a classic game of my childhood that I absolutely love. And so it's there. It's number 4. I don't care. Move on.
What's number 3?
Top 3, and it's back with the Atari ST. Now this is Mercenary. You'll know this game, I'd imagine, because it came out of the Spectrum, Commodore, the Amiga, PC, everything. It came out for everything. Mercenary of BBC, Atari 800, massive game on those formats too. Mercenary is by Paul Wokes. It is an adventure game set in a polygon universe. Think about, you know, like Cyberpunk. This is what Cyberpunk would have looked like back in 1983. But it got an Atari ST version, but this version is special. This is the Compendium Edition. It doesn't just have Mercenary, it also has the sequel, the Second City expansion, Escape from Targ. Now, let's just show you what the game looks like on an Atari ST first.
No, that is not a big fly squashed on the screen. I don't know what it looks like. A big black blob. We are flying towards it. Yeah, we are in a ship. We are flying right now. It takes a while, so I've moved it on a bit. Yeah, you can see now it looks like a grid. You're thinking, oh wow, look, what is it, a circuit board? Is that like guitar frets? Is that... No, this is the city. And as we close in, you know, as we get closer, things will pop up. You know what Paul was trying to do with this. And games take it for granted now, you know, Flight Simulator now, if you're flying into a city and it transforms from lines, oh look, there's something, there's a little white box, you know what they were trying to do. But back then it was really tough. I mean, even Pilot Wings does a much better job than this. But yet this is the city. We're now flying over a city. It's made of lines. Do you get it yet?
And here it is. Now, the reason I picked it, this very, very special box, I think it's a game a lot of us are quite fond of. We all kind of had it. I mean, it was very, very popular. It's quite an early release for Atari ST. I think it might even be 1988. Oh, come on. I can get a cardboard box out, can't I? I can't. No, the flaps have mucked up. It's okay. It's okay. So we've got an inner box and an outer box. So that's got the top flap. Okay, and then inside this we have more stuff. We have the game in a proper wallet, like a proper wallet. I mean, yeah, and there's the disc, one disc. It's got a backup on there as well, but that's okay. We keep those in. If there is a backup disc, what's the point of throwing it away? No, it's silly. Beautiful condition. And then you've got this. Now, I love the fact that they did this. On the front of the instructions for the game, they put only to be opened in an emergency. But back then you really did need the instructions for games, so an emergency, yeah, it probably was. And here we go, there is the proper interlude, a glossy, lovely glossy manual. What is that, a book? Is it a book? Interlude on Targ. Yeah, I think it's a story. It's a story like the one that you get in Elite. Beautiful. We've got some charts. I do like it when you get some charts. We've got some fold out charts, maps if you will. Have you remembered to fill out the other side of this form? It's got the warranty card. So two charts. Here we've got the layout of your ship. There it is. It's a little bit of a technical guide. Okay, now we've got some big fold out thing, which is the map. It's the proper map. Central City for Mercenary. Oh, I'll show this on the big one. There you go. There it is. A big fold out map. That's very nice, isn't it? I mean, I know what you're thinking. There's a lot of stuff in this, Jace. Yeah, there is. Which is why I had to put it on. I know of 3 Atari ST games in the top 10. You're thinking, Jace, you're slacking, but no. We're not finished. Compendium edition instructions specific for this issue. Another second warranty. Yeah, 2 warranties. Newsflash. 2 of these. 2 micropose news flashes, but this is the most exciting bit, and this is the reason why I picked it. It's got a couple of badges. It's got a couple of badges in there. Yes, official. Let's get focus on these. Focus. Mercenary badges. Now they are original from the early 80s. I mean, no, late 80s. But what amazing thing to have. And yeah, you know, I get off on freebie stuff. I don't care. What's number 2? What's number 2? Number 2, and we're back to hardware. Yes, this almost was number 1. This is a FZ10 3DO console. Now, I haven't had one of these on the show yet. We've had the regular 3DO, but this is the flip-up lid version. So I thought we've got to get that on. Firstly, let's just have a look at this box, because this box is immaculate. Look at that. That is going to be the pride of anyone's collection, isn't it? Beautiful. So this version of the 3DO released after the original one with the front loading deck, and you know, I guess as a cost saving exercise, because that thing does look like it cost a lot to make, doesn't it, the original 3DO. But this is a very quality console too. Let's pull it out. No, what's in there? What's in there? Oh, controllers. So we've got TV cables in there, but I won't get them out. It comes with 2 controllers. It comes with 2, strangely, a smaller controller and a bigger controller. Big controller, little controller, big controller. I really like this little compact one. That is pretty cute, actually. The good thing about a great invention, one of the great inventions that the Panasonic 3DO came up with, was expandable joysticks. So yeah, you have the next connector on there, so you daisy chain joysticks together, so you plug the next joystick into the other joystick. You only have 1 wire between the TV and your sofa, but if you're playing multiplayer, you all plug into each other's controllers, which means you can have as many controllers as you like. No need for multi-taps or anything like that. It was a bit of a unique idea, and it did not catch on. But look at the condition of that. Look at that. That is like brand new. Push to open, and there. Oh, that's got a lovely. I've got to do that again. You ready? Oh, there's a nice slowness to it. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's steady. Ports at the back, AV out, nice and easy. You plug that into your normal digital TV. RF out, power supply. There's the bottom. What an immaculate console, and it's just nice to have one on the show. So yeah, the Panasonic FZ10 3DO. Yeah! What's number one, Jace?
Here it comes, it's number one.
And number one, it's Golf. It is Golf for the ColecoVision, an all-time favourite shooter of mine. And while home versions didn't really match the genius of the arcade and its talking cabinet, the ColecoVision version was the best. Let's get stuck into the game. As I've probably said many times, a coin-op that really blew me away as a kid. Thanks to that brilliant shield, you can turn it on and off, take some fire. Yeah, loads of different stages, loads of variety in this game. This is the laser attack mode. After this we get to the Galaxians mode. Yes, like loads of shooters all rolled into one. Now, are you ready? This is the Coleco version. Yes, alright, it's not quite the same, but it's still a close approximation. Sure, the shield doesn't turn on and off, but it still has all those different modes. Maybe not all of them, but some of them. This is the laser mode, laser attack, the classic space warp, yeah, where they all come out of the middle black hole, and the end level, the flagship level, which is pretty fantastic. It was still the king of all the home versions. Now, this is not an ordinary Golf. As you can see, it is in a plastic clam case. And I know what you might be thinking, oh, it's one of those dodgy reissues that Telegames did in the early 90s, where they started putting, you know, classic Coleco games into clam cases like these, and reissuing them for UK audience, because the ColecoVision is multi-region. I love multi-region consoles, but this is not a UK release. This is the Australian original issue, and it came in this bespoke case, and I'm going to open it up now and look at this. What a beautiful thing. It is embossed with CBS. Can you see that? It's embossed there. If I pull the manual out, you'll probably see it better. Lovely little wallet sleeve. I'll just show you the manual. It's got a flyer, and it's got Australia on there as well. It says about being the Australian version. I'm sure it does. Here you go. Just to prove it, CBS Electronics, GPO box, Sydney, New South Wales. And there's the manual. Beautiful condition. But yeah, that lovely CBS embossed box. The cartridge label's a little bit different. It's a bit like the American one, whereas ours are cut in the edges. I'll show you a British CBS Golf. Yeah, so it's a little bit different, but yeah, it's beautiful. I love this. I love the case design. I think it's strange that Australia got a different version of the cases than the UK. And there is quite a lot of box variation on those ColecoVision titles, particularly the first party ones. There's lots of different. They've got the ones that have got like coin-ops on the front of the box, and you've got ones that show like cartoon depictions of the game action, and then you've got this, which just looks like something you find in a Blockbuster's video shop, doesn't it? Golf, and what a fantastic game to end the show on. Thank you for watching. I must put out a brief apology, pointed out to me by my colleague Fiona, that perhaps saying that all other retro games shows out there were dry last week was actually, you know, insulting some of the audience. I didn't mean that. I watch all Hardcore 44. I watch all your shows, you know that. So, you know, come on, Lee, Ed, Retro Bear, James, Ollie, Sean, Gempix. There's so many. Not dry shows at all. They're all brilliant shows. They're so brilliant. I'm gonna put links below and say check out the Hardcore 44's shows, because it's so nice to have this little UK clique of retro games ranters. I'm getting lost and I'm getting lost. Anyway, let's hope that this show does better with the front loading. I'm hoping. If it doesn't get to 1,000 views again, I might have a little break. So if I'm not here next week, don't worry, I will be back soon. And on that note, thanks again for watching. Happy retro gaming, retro gamers!
Retro Games says thank you for watching. Retro Games says thank you for watching.
Did you realise this? But Golf is called Golf because it's the word frog backwards. And there was also a coin-op called Frog, and they could just get the marquee, turn it upside down, slot it in the machine, and it said frog, and they could use the same marquee for both coin ops. What do you reckon? Sounds viable to me.